Whether diplomacy or high strategy, the indifference of Biden management does not know boundaries. First of all, diplomacy, said Orum. I don't think there was a loan for this. Foreign Minister Antony Blinken said last week. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said, the whole Israeli community united behind the purpose of dismantling Hamas, even if it took months. Meaning Biden management will not stop by Jerusalem for a long-term fight. Blinken also presented a list of impossible demands. The major loss of scale we see in the northern Gaza should not be repeated in south. Israel should determine, clearly and precisely, civilian safe zones, avoid ürmek continuing to be interior. In fact, we do not know how civilian losses are big. Hamas talks about more than 10,000 deaths. But in this figure counts his own losses. Yes. Civil pain is wide. There is a war. Most Gazans fled from north, and IDF will have to flee from the safe regions of Israel already assigned in south, and from areas that IDF announced later so post-sacrificing the great military advantage of surprise to minimize civilian pain. As Caitlin Doornos reported, notes IDF Lieutenant Col.Amnon Shefler said, you can find video of a large number of Palestinians who are told to stand outside the buildings. They will take strikes from their own phones standing there. IDF also receives losses by sending land forces to clean the known Hamas fortresses instead of starting with airstrikes. Israel lives to protect ordinary Gazans. This allows Israel to disarm various civilians, the special forces of civilians, and avoids killing civilians and avoids secondary explosions from the IDF attack on terror cells in and around Al-Shifa Hospital is a situation. Yes, they had to evacuate, but much less innocent life disappeared than time when this terrorist rocket was given to al-Ahli hospital parking. Israel will continue to find new ways of keeping civilian losses low. But Hamas cannot stop fighting until it is destroyed. Blinken confesses has invalidated truth. Hamas cannot stay under the control of Gaza. But he clearly stated that President Biden would not give Israelites a long-term loan. Iyla had to take too long to do this. Call this catch-22 diplomacy. Meanwhile, Biden team's strategic decision to barely respond to attacks on the U.S. forces in Middle East works for Iran and its axis of resistance. Last week, the Houthi forces in Yemen fired a U.S. warship from Houthi pirates to release a civilian ship and climb to USS Carney and more than one commercial ship in Red Sea on Sunday. The signal is open at least as long as the Israeli-Hamas war continues. Even worse, Iran ordered Biden was the most scared climbing. In his mind, this leads a much larger war, for example, III.Vietnam. Even if there is no World War II, trust Jerusalem even if it is not over. To force the fight, end the fight soon. For about 2 years, Vladimir Putin pushes same Biden-Spanic button prevent Prez from BU.